And we're back at it here on this Wednesday, 3rd day of July, 2024. I am Dan Kuntz, and this is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Thanks for starting your day with us. A lot of people have today off. Thursday is a good day for Independence Day, for that holiday. To have July 4th fall into Thursday, for a lot of people, they'll just take today off or cut out of work early. Not that we're encouraging that. Well, maybe we are. And then, of course, tomorrow is the holiday, and then Friday. So you think, hey, wait a minute, if I take Wednesday off and Friday off, I already got Thursday off. It's a 5-day weekend. That ain't bad. We, of course, are going to be working here, but we're not going to work real hard. We do have tomorrow off here at the NCW Life channel, so there'll be no Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, no evening news. We get to enjoy the holiday just like everybody else in the heat. We will be back on Friday. We'll have a special edition of the evening news on Friday evening, and we'll talk about that, well, when we get closer to it. In any event, just a heads up, no show tomorrow. We get to sleep in. Yeah, we like that. And then we got to make sure our air conditioning is going to work because it's going to get really, really hot. We're going to break records, certainly on Sunday, possibility on Saturday, possibility on Monday. Those details are coming up, but get ready for the hottest weather of the year by far is coming up. It felt like it's kind of a cool summer. Well, Mother Nature says, no, not anymore. It's going to be very warm today. It's going to be just plain hot tomorrow, and then we're going to be in the triple digits for an extended period of time. We got news, sports, same old for the Mariners. The pitching staff is doing just fine, but the offense can't generate any offense. They lost 2-0 to the Orioles at T-Mobile Park yesterday, and the Wenatchee Apple Sox kicked the ball around a whole bunch in defense. You're not supposed to do that. They committed 6 errors, and when you do that, you're going to lose, and they lost to Victoria. We'll have the wrap-up from Storm and Joel Norman. In case you missed my conversation with Allie Jordan yesterday from Elevated Marketing, she's in charge of putting together the big party tomorrow at Walla Walla Point Park. One more airing of that so you can make your plans. Festivities get going at 3:30, fireworks at 10:15 with all kinds of things going on between 3:30 and 10:15. Allie will be joining me, plus an opinion from Mike Mad Dog McNaughty. Let's start our tour around the valley on days like today, long days, lots of sunshine, mild temperatures right now. We got any number of cameras we can use, but we always begin our festivities with the Wenatchee Heights camera. Tilted up just a little bit, not a cloud to be seen anywhere in the Wenatchee Valley, and the Columbia River is going to be mighty inviting for a lot of folks tomorrow for Independence Day, hopping into the old lagoon down there at Walla Walla Point Park. Any body of water is going to feel nice this weekend, again, starting tomorrow. And we actually even have an excessive heat warning coming up. I'll talk about that in just a couple of minutes. Off to Billy Goat we go, to the very summit of Billy Goat, looking back over, well, basically towards Bridgeport. You can almost make out the Gamble Sands golf course. This is the Billy Goat camera. That's the Columbia River Gorge that you see there. You can't see the river itself. If we had moved this camera a little bit to the left, you could see Pateros and Bridgeport and Brewster and all that other stuff. The really cool thing about the camera is spectacular view. Unfortunately, it's a PTZ camera, so it has to be attached to a tower, and the tower where the camera is positioned, if we move it towards the Medhow Valley up towards Twisp, the tower gets in the way. Well, that's just, so we can't go 360. We can go about 340 degrees before we run into obstructions like, say, the tower that the camera is attached to. Let's say good morning to Ephrata, the seat of Grant County. Out there, where are you in Ephrata right now? You are at 64 degrees. The wind is out of the north at 12 miles an hour. Ephrata, you're going to be hot. Everybody is going to be hot this weekend. It's going to be very warm today. I think we can safely call tomorrow hot. Looks like the camera's moving around a little bit. Good morning to Ephrata. It's good to see you. And let's head on up to Lake Chelan. And the lake looks awfully blue. That place will be hopping. There is an effect in the lower part of Lake Chelan where the town is and a lot of the homes are, cabins, what have you, basically between the state park all the way down to Chelan proper. It's an effect that happens over the summer weekends. The water gets super choppy, even if there's no wind at all, because of all the jet skis and the motorboats and the big boats and the Lady of the Lake. The lake gets very choppy, even on calm, hot summer days, because just the sheer amount of people and things in the lake. It's a unique phenomenon. I have experienced it myself. Good morning to Lake Chelan. All right, heat wave. This is an updated slide from what we showed you yesterday. Not only does it show the highs and lows for the Wenatchee Valley, it also shows you the highs and lows for some other locations. For instance, Chelan. You're up there, so take a look if you're heading out to the lake, out in Moses Lake. You're going to be hot. Up in Omak, going to be hot. Everybody is going to be hot. Everybody will certainly be in the triple digits, it looks, with the possible exception of maybe Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, and the Colville area. But hey, who's kidding who? We are in for the first heat wave of the season, so you know what to do. Once it really gets warm, and the sun is at its highest point in the sky shortly after 1 o'clock. And from that point forward, you are really in danger of getting a pretty good sunburn if you don't have the proper clothing on. And this heat wave could last for 7, 8, 9 days. In fact, they have issued an excessive heat warning. As you see there, when dangerous heat is happening or about to happen, and we are in for that. An excessive heat watch is not in effect for us. We have an excessive heat warning. It starts noon on Saturday. It goes until at least 10 o'clock on Tuesday night. So pretty much all day Saturday, all day Sunday, all day Monday, all day Tuesday, an excessive heat warning. No red flag warning yet. We shall see. That, in fact, may be issued, but it is just going to be hot. And as we go through our forecast, I'll let you know exactly what our record highs are when we start getting into that record high possibility. Today, lots of sunshine, about 90, northwest wind about 5 to 10 miles an hour. So what's going on here? The big ridge of high pressure is right off the coast of Washington State. It moves slightly to the south. That's where it's at now. By tomorrow, the offshore ridge, that big dome of high pressure, will begin to expand inland. By Friday, it'll be right over the Puget Sound area. By the time it gets to Monday, the very center of this dome will be right over central Washington. So it's going to get bigger, and it's going to get stronger, and it's going to move right over the top of us. A little windy tonight, not too bad, 61 for the overnight low. Here's your forecast for 4th of July. 95, lots of sunshine, very little wind. And then here comes the heat. 101. The forecast high on Friday. Our record high on Friday is 103. That was set back in 1968. Saturday, 102. The forecast high. The record high on Saturday is 104, also set back in 1968. Sunday, we are going to break the record. They're very confident about this. 104. Our forecast high on Sunday to wrap up the holiday weekend. Our record high on Sunday, 100 back in 2015. So that is definitely in danger of falling. Monday, possibility 106. Our forecast high on Monday, our record high on Monday is 103. That was set back in 2012. And Tuesday, another day of 106-degree afternoon high, right around 5, 6 o'clock. Our record high is 105, set back in 1975. So outside chance of getting close to a record high on Friday and Saturday. We're going to set a new record almost. It's a lead pipe cinch on Sunday, Monday, and even possibly on Tuesday. It's going to be hot. We're going to take a break. When we come back, the news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epladolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
As sheriff, I arrested rioters, rapists, and mass murderers, locked up human traffickers who preyed on women and children. On my watch, everyone was accountable. Despite being the Attorney General for 12 years, Bob Ferguson does not take responsibility for the rapid increase in crime and homelessness, businesses moving out of state, and jobs lost. And he thinks he deserves a promotion?
Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
My name's Nick Dirk, and I've been a cinematographer-photographer for over 10 years. I got my start at the Wenatchee Valley Technical Skills Center. Without the Tech Center, I wouldn't have got my first job in media production 3 months after I graduated high school.
My name is Charlie Voris, and I own Vortex Productions. My work has taken me on exciting adventures all around the world, and I got my start at Wenatchee Valley Tech.
Hey, my name is Ole Mingo, and I'm the Executive Director at Heirloom Creatives in Wenatchee. I am so thankful for Wenatchee Valley Tech to be able to have my dream career.
"63 degrees, lots of sunshine, just about 90 our forecast high today, mid-90s for the holiday. Triple digits, well into the triple digits with record-setting highs coming up this weekend. We could be in for an extended heat wave starting really on Friday. It's 11 minutes after the hour. Captain Edgar Reinfeld is going to be Wenatchee's new Chief of Police. Mayor Mike Poyer announcing his selection Tuesday in a press release after a months-long recruitment process. Reinfeld has worked for the Wenatchee Police Department for over 22 years. He's a 30-year U.S. Air Force Reserve veteran. Of course, as you know, back in March, former Police Chief Steve Crown announced his retirement after serving in the role since 2016. In May, the city announced that Reinfeld, Captain Brian Chance, and Doug Shoemaker, who previously served as the Chief of Police in Denton, Texas, were the top 3 finalists. The City Council will confirm, or is set to confirm, Poyer's appointment of Reinfeld as Chief of Police at the City Council meeting next Tuesday. One person is recovering from a gunshot wound after an incident southeast of Soap Lake. This happened early Monday morning. Grant County Sheriff's deputies still investigating. Deputies say a 42-year-old landowner was wounded after exchanging gunfire with the occupants of a Dodge Ram pickup he discovered on his property. The man suffered a gunshot wound to the upper chest, was flown to Confluence Health in Wenatchee, where he was in stable condition as of yesterday. A dog in the vehicle was also struck by gunfire. He was taken care of by the Moses Lake Veterinary Clinic. Deputies say all the people involved in the gunfight have been identified, but no arrests have yet been made. The investigation is ongoing. Charges of rape, robbery, assault, and drug distribution against a Chelan resident have all been dismissed after he was exonerated by DNA evidence. 53-year-old Darren Daniel Hunter was arrested and charged 1 year ago after Chelan County Sheriff's detectives said he sexually assaulted a woman at his Chelan home and sold her illegal drugs. But Hunter's attorney, Nicole Hankins, said genetic testing of a rape kit used to assess the victim found his DNA wasn't there. Chelan County prosecutors withdrew their 7 felony charges against Hunter on Friday. He spent 5 months in the Chelan County Jail after he was arrested until Hankins won a reduction in his $5 million bond. The attorney says in addition to DNA exoneration, a security video from the home where Hunter was staying also appears to contradict the victim's allegations. The Wenatchee Valley Humane Society's board of directors have announced that somebody on the board of directors, James Provo, will be the new interim executive director after the sudden departure of James Pumphrey last week. Provo has been a member of the Humane Society's board. She's now going to be in charge of overseeing the day-to-day operations of the Humane Society, going to be working alongside staff and volunteers and representing the animal shelter to the Wenatchee Valley. The board is still seeking candidates for the permanent position of executive director. That process continues. The Wenatchee School District says the girls' softball field is still on schedule to be completed late next month. In their latest update, the district said construction crews will complete the dugouts, the press box, and locker rooms by the end of this week. Construction began on the site back in April. That's when softball players and school administrators were invited to the groundbreaking ceremony. The $4.1 million softball field resolves a Title IX complaint against the district that alleged unequal treatment of male and female athletes. There is no set date for completion, although the August timeline was established last September. Students getting ready to start school at Wenatchee Valley College can participate in a free course to prepare for them for, well, college. The College Readiness Summer Boot Camp is a 2-week class that teaches college navigation, study skills in reading, writing, math fundamentals, and the like. Students can earn up to 3 credits if they participate, and their tuition is paid for. The Wenatchee Valley College Foundation is picking up the tab there. The class meets from 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on Monday through Thursday on the Wenatchee campus. It begins 2 weeks before the fall quarter begins. That's September 9th through the 19th. Enrollment is now open, so if you're interested, go to the Wenatchee Valley College's website. And this is the third and final installment of our three-part series on the black bears that roam the Upper Valley and their conflicts with human inhabitants who also happen to live in the Upper Valley. When those conflicts emerged, Rich Beausoleil is the Washington Fish and Wildlife Officer who's most likely to respond. Rich and his Karelian bear dog Milo helps to trap or lethally remove problem bears throughout the state. But as Rich told us, a better solution is for humans to avoid tempting bears in the first place with easy food opportunities.
So my name is Rich Beausoleil. I am the statewide bear and cougar specialist for the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife. It's a statewide position. I'm based out of Wenatchee, north, south, east, west, right in the center of the state. And yeah, pretty much go everywhere.
Do you have a sense for the frequency of bear conflict calls that you get, if it's gone up or changed in the years you've been doing this?
You know, I've been doing this for 22 years. It's definitely cyclic, you know, in response to food supply, natural food supply, weather conditions, that kind of stuff. But also highly dependent on attractants, which bring bears close to people. We're always going to have bears around these parts, and that's okay. What we want them to do is move through and not stay. We did a 10-year study in the North Cascades. We had a west slope study area and an east slope study area, and it just so happens it was right around here in Leavenworth. So we collared a couple hundred bears over 10 years just on this side of the mountains. And what we found is bears were traveling 30, 40 straight line distance miles to come from their home range to take advantage of these food resources, sometimes turning around and never coming back, other times choosing to settle here. And if it's a mom with cubs who's doing that, those cubs start to learn when it starts getting cool or it starts getting warm, whatever the phase is, that's where I can go get a known meal. A bear's entire life is based on food. You or I know if we miss breakfast and lunch, we're going to have dinner. They don't know that. They live day to day, and so they need about 3,000 calories a day just to sustain themselves, preferably 5,000 calories a day to actually put on some mass. And a pound of blueberries or huckleberries is roughly about, 250 calories. One pound bird feeder is 1,700 calories. So you hit a neighborhood street with 3 or 4 bear feeders, you just lived an entire day. So by the bears' standards, that's time management. That's no different than you or I hitting the drive-thru on a busy day. And if we catch them early enough in this behavior and we intervene, we can stop it. And that's the key. We need that engagement from people to understand that if you want to see a bear for a minute and that's fine, scare it off if it's in your yard around Leavenworth. But then report it. Let us know so we can keep track of those sightings and then say, hey, we've got 3 or 4 going here. We might want to jump over there, see if there's any things we need to remove. And then also, maybe we can push that bear back up into the woods where it belongs. It's kind of disappointing over time because you see this cycle and it just repeats itself. And we remove these bears and we do press on it. We don't hide what we're doing. Sometimes we're forced to make these calls, and that's not why we got into the business, and then the locals get upset with us. And I like that. That means they love wildlife. But you need to take those preventative steps to avoid a bear becoming habituated or food conditioned, because that can lead to problems that none of us want. In the last couple of years, things have greatly improved. We've got a good working relationship, and we always have, with Public Works. They service all of the restaurants, all of the businesses and parks like we're in right now, and they have their own garbage removal system. And so they upped removal of those cans from once a day to twice a day. That's a great move. But now we've got 3,000 residents that we need to engage with. They all have individual contracts with their garbage collection service. And so that's a heavier lift. We need some help from City Council maybe to pass some ordinances take down your bird feeders, you know, from April through November. If you're going to raise chickens and goats and sheep and that kind of stuff, there's some basic standards you need to have. That would be outstanding. And then when you see signs like this and you know you're in bear country, heed those warnings, pay attention. If you live close by and you came down to the park for a walk, well, that's only a hop, skip, and a jump for a bear to be in your backyard. So look around, police each other, help us, help you, and then by doing so, we're going to help the bears.
And that is what's making news on this Independence Day Eve. I guess that makes sense, on this 3rd day of July. Before you get the holiday going, don't forget to fill your brain full of the information you need. What's going on around the Wenatchee Valley, North Central Washington? We do our best. We have a good news team. We're going to gather the news, disseminate the news, and then bring you the news at 5, 6, and 10 on television, 5, 6, and 10 right here on the NCW Life channel. If that doesn't fit into your schedule, don't forget we have it up and running on the World Wide Web. We'll have it up and going on our homepage, ncwlife.com, on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page. We got an X account, we got an Instagram account, we got a song in our heart, and we got an app. There's the QR code right there. So pick up the smartphone and app away. And if you think there's something out there that is newsworthy, you get a hold of us. You send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. Mariners played the Orioles last night. Apple Sox played the Harbor Cats last night. Spoiler alert, sports is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Highlander Golf Course and Grill, located in East Wenatchee, offers terrific views and challenging play for golfers at every skill level. From the golf course to the grill, you don't need to be a member to dine in style and play golf too. Highlander's well-groomed fairways and greens keep it difficult, yet friendly for your regular rounds of golf or a new destination for you and your out-of-town friends. Contact the Highlander Pro Shop today to schedule your tee time, outing, or tournament. Open 7 days a week, where everyone is welcome to play and eat.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Most of us are in touch with the internet in one way or another all day long. A fast, secure connection matters. It keeps us entertained, informed, and in touch. Local cares about your connection. We know strong, reliable internet with your choice of speed makes life better. If you need fast, reliable internet, or maybe an upgrade, or you just have questions, connect with us by visiting localtel.com or call 509-888-8888 today.
24 minutes after the hour in sports, Grayson Rodriguez is a really good pitcher. Don't believe me? He just shut down the Mariners. He allowed just a couple of hits over 6 1/3 innings, and Baltimore beat Seattle 2-0 last night. Rodriguez was dominant against Seattle's offense, which quite frankly is not very good right now. He retired the first 8 batters. He allowed just 1 hit through 5 innings. The Orioles have won 5 of their last 6 games. The Mariners have lost 9 out of their last 12.
Forward, maybe they go for a playoff berth this year, but if not, a lot of veterans they could trade. Henderson back up the box. That ball was absolutely torched right on the inside edge, and Gunnar still gets the bat head out for a leadoff single.
798.
There's a breaking ball, grounded through the middle. On the 10th pitch, Santander comes through, and the Orioles get the first run.
Well, June was about 13 home runs, 60 for the club. This is
That ball grounded back to Grayson. He'll go to second low, and it's not caught. Everybody's safe.
And they're going to look at it. We'll see how this plays out. There's the throw. And, I think he's out. Now, you can't tell from that angle. I mean, just make a good throw. Not always easy. Certainly a ball that could have been caught, but not where you want it. So, again, I don't know. I don't know if there's enough to overturn the safe call.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner is out. Baltimore retains their challenge.
That is just some play. That really could have been a double play, should have been a double play with a good throw, but man, oh man. Just waiting and watching. And Mullins grounds the ball through the middle. Another base hit. Westberg is in and Cowser to third. Back-to-back singles, and Cedric Mullins doubles the Oriole lead.
You know, he's
2 outs, 2 on, 2 strikes. Rodriguez goes down swinging. Kimbrel with a K to end it. And the Orioles begin this West Coast road trip with a shutout in Seattle.
Well, talk about some drama.
And the drama sealed by Craig Kimbrel, who now ties Francisco Rodriguez for 4th on the all-time list, Jim. 437 saves for the likely future Hall of
Mariner manager Scott Service after the game said both pitchers did very well, but the Mariner offense did not.
Coming in this game tonight, everybody, you're looking at the pitching matchup, and you assume it's going to be a good one, but it doesn't always live up to its billing. It did tonight. Both Rodriguez and George were on top of their game. I thought George threw the ball just outstanding. It's the best offense in the league. They have been rolling in the month of June. They hit a ton of homers, and George was just awesome tonight. I thought he located well. He mixed pitches well. He made big pitches when he had to. They put the scratch run up there early, and then, they were able to find some holes there in the 7th inning to add on, and the guys at the bullpen threw really well also. So, I say all that. Obviously, their guy threw even a little bit better. He had a really good changeup, coming into the game. He's got good fastball, good changeup, and enough breaking ball. He did a good job as well. I say all that, and he still had a chance. I give Cal a ton of credit. He works himself into a good count. The guy on first puts a great swing on a ball. Just a little tick out front, and it's just barely foul. Otherwise, we tie the game, and they're probably still out there playing right now. But, again, Baltimore's got a good club. We know that. These games are going to be tight. You got to figure out a way to get the big hit late, and that's been a struggle for us lately. There's nothing around it. I do give our guys a ton of credit. We're finding ways to continue to put pressure on them, and eventually we'll get the big hit, we'll break through, and we'll get it going again.
Seattle and Baltimore play game 2 of their 3-game set tonight. 7:10 first pitch, a little later than normal because they're going to be doing fireworks after the game. It's got to be dark enough for fireworks. It'll be Mariner right-hander Logan Gilbert. He'll take on the Orioles righty Corbin Burns, who just had a baby over the weekend. Congratulations to him. Well, there is good news. The Astros lost, so the Mariners still have a 3-game lead over Houston after the Blue Jays nipped the Astros 7-6. The Rangers shut out the Padres 7-0. Athletics beat the Angels 7-5 in a battle of bottom dwellers. Well, the Wenatchee Applesauce committed 6 errors. That's half a dozen in their first game of the second half of the season, and they dropped a 12-9 decision to the Victoria Harbor Cats at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. The voice of the Apple Sox, Joel Norman, has the wrap.
Well, the Wenatchee Apple Sox locked up the West Coast League's North Division first half title thanks to some help on Monday night, and they open up the second half on Tuesday with a tough loss at home, falling to the Victoria Harbor Cats by a 12-9 score. It was a back-and-forth game, pretty much from start to finish. Victoria scored 5 times in the top of the third, and they would never trail or have the game be tied up from that point on. Wenatchee got as close as 1 run in the middle innings and even brought the tying run to the plate in the 9th inning, despite entering the bottom of the 9th trailing by 6 runs. But 6 was unfortunately a bad number for the Apple Sox, as they would commit 6 miscues on the evening, welcoming in a few different new faces and just having a tough night at the plate against the Victoria Harbor Cats. Now, Wenatchee looks to bounce back on Wednesday night as they take on the Harbor Cats again at 7:05 p.m. as it's fireworks night at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Tickets are available for it now at applesox.com/schedule. With your Apple Sox update, I'm Joel Norman.
Thank you very much, Joel. That's a friendly reminder before I forget, if you live in the vicinity of Wenatchee Valley College, fireworks after the game right around 10 o'clock. So if you have Four-legged friends who don't like fireworks and you live near the campus of the college, be forewarned. All right, to the West Coast League scoreboard we go. Victoria, as you see, beat Wenatchee. We just talked about that. Kelowna, 10-run Kamloops, but they don't have a 10-run rule in baseball. 11-1. Bend over Bellingham, 6-4. It was Portland just getting by the Sweets from Walla Walla, 2-1. Corvallis wins again. Big surprise there. Beat Ridgefield 7-5. And the Pippins beat the Black Bears 6-4. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Wednesday, July 3rd. There are 6 obscure holidays. Today is National Air Conditioner Appreciation Day. Maybe I should have done that. Today is Constitution Day in the Cayman Islands. I don't know, somebody might be watching down there. They have internet. National Chocolate Wafer Day. It's National Fried Clam Day. None for me. National Compliment Your Mirror Day. I don't make this stuff up. These are actual obscure holidays. But no, today, beans, the wonderful fruit. The more you eat, the more you beans. Yes, beans. They're good for you. Amino acids, proteins, complex carbs, iron, fiber, folate, whatever the heck folate is. People have been eating beans before there was even agriculture. The oldest evidence of beans being eaten occurred about 9,000 years ago in Thailand. Now, how they have evidence of that, I don't know, and I don't want to find out. But they think that's the earliest evidence, and they think it obviously goes back even further than 9,000 years. Not only are beans good for you, but they're good for you. They do something to my system, though. Since the early 20th century, Yankee bean soup, but by federal law, they must serve Yankee bean soup on the menu at the U.S. Senate cafeteria on Capitol Hill. It's a law. It must be on the menu every day. Apparently, it's not very good, from what I'm told. And thank you very much, North Dakota. North Dakota produces over 30% of all the beans in the United States. And it's pretty flexible. You can do a lot with beans. The wonderful fruit. The more you eat, the... Let's move on to today in history. A friendly reminder that even George Washington had his bad days. On this date in 1754, 270 years ago, July the 3rd, 1754, during the French and Indian War, George Washington surrenders Fort Necessity to the French forces. Now, even though George Washington would lose the occasional battle since then, all the way into the Revolutionary War, it was the only time George Washington actually surrendered. The only time was on this date 270 years ago, and he didn't much like doing that. He said, I ain't surrendering no more. And ironically enough, 21 years after George Washington surrendered Fort Necessity, he got the big gig. On July 3rd, 1775, George Washington formally took command of the Continental Army at Cambridge, Massachusetts. I don't know if we have that slide up there or not. I don't know. But so George Washington, exactly 21 years after he surrendered the only time, he ended up getting the most important job of all. Battle of Gettysburg. This didn't go very well, at least for General Pickett. The final day of the Battle of Gettysburg culminated on July the 3rd, 1863. This was as far north as Confederate forces ever got. They made a full frontal assault right smack dab in the middle of the Union lines. Heavy casualties on both sides, but of course, Pickett and his crew lost. They weren't prepared. That didn't help very much. It was, of course, a very costly defeat for Robert E. Lee. That's as far north as he ever got during the Civil War, and they had to retreat back to Virginia, and they never made it back up there again. How many soldiers were casualties during the three-day Battle of Gettysburg? About 50,000 casualties just in 3 days. But it was definitely one of the big turning points in the war. Time to play Guess That Flag. Well, they did it again. They took a flag, they took a piece of fabric, and they put the state seal on it, and they called it good. We need to rethink some flags, people. Some state flags are phenomenal. The vast majority of them, like 30 of them, they just took the seal of the state and put it on a piece of cloth. Come on. But we love Idaho, our neighbors to the east. Idaho is 134 years old today. July the 3rd, 1890, the 43rd state, just a year after Washington made the Union. It's known, of course, as the Gem State. We'll get to that in a minute. 1/3 of the nation's potatoes are grown in Idaho. And who do we have to thank for that? J.R. Simplot, who in 1941 stumbled upon the idea for dehydrating potatoes. He used a prune drying machine and it worked. And out of that came flash frozen cut potatoes for fries. That, of course, is now a staple of diets everywhere, freezers and fast food restaurants. And his first big client, the timing was perfect, 1941, the U.S. military. It made J.R. Simplot a gazillionaire and probably the most famous person ever to come out of Idaho. And the J.R. Simplot Company is one of the huge agribusiness companies in America. Idaho also supplies the majority of the nation's trout, so it's not just potatoes. At almost 8,000 feet deep, Hell's Canyon in western Idaho is the deepest river gorge in North America. And by comparison, the Grand Canyon is only 6,000 feet deep. Hell's Canyon is almost 8,000 feet deep. I think you know this, Lewiston is the furthest inland port on the west coast. It's about, 450 miles between Lewiston, Idaho and Astoria, Oregon. The Republican Party has been the majority party in both houses of the state legislature in Idaho for the last 65 years. Before the 24 years, between 1971 and 1965, the governor was a Democrat. That's hard to believe. Lada County, which is where Moscow is, right across the border from Pullman. Lada County is the only county in the U.S. that was created by an act of Congress, the only county in U.S. history ever to be created by an act of Congress. They wanted to be a part of Washington State, and they said either give us our own representation, make us our own county, or we're going to leave and go to Washington State. They actually threatened to annex into the state next door, and instead the Congress said, we'll just create a county for you. That's hard to believe. Adam West lived in Ketchum in the summertime, and his name was listed in the local phone book as Bruce Wayne. That's pretty clever. And the state song of Idaho is Here We Have Idaho. Happy birthday to Idaho. And finally, 10 years ago, this is the box score, the starting lineup. Tampa Bay takes on the Tigers. Now, if you've ever kept score in a baseball game, you know each defensive position has a number associated with it. So you can see Jennings batting first, center field, so that's 8. The shortstop is 6. The designated hitter, since they don't play in the field, they get the number 0. So the starting lineup, if you look down for the Tampa Bay Rays, comes out 8, 6, 7, 5, 3, 0, 9. He said he didn't know until after the game was over. Then they played the song in the clubhouse. I don't know why they lost 8-1. Yeah, there's your starting lineup. 8, 6, 7, 5, 3, 0, 9. Janet, Janet, who can I turn to? 38 minutes after the hour, birthdays. Tom Mapoffer IV. He uses his middle name, Tom Cruise. That's a much better Hollywood name. One of the biggest names, biggest box office stars in Hollywood history, and has been so for, 35 years now. Tom Cruise is 62 years old today. And the youngest cast member of The Simpsons, Yeardley Smith, is 60 years old today. She is the voice of Lisa Simpson on The Simpsons. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. I have a feeling that if your air conditioner goes on the fritz this weekend, now your air conditioner is probably going to be running 24/7 for about a week. You might want to give Alpine Air one quick call if it's not too late, because if your system can't handle it, Alpine Air can take a run at it, but your better bet is to be proactive and make sure it doesn't break on you. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Special thanks to our friends at Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista, their main campus in Wenatchee, and their satellite campus in East Wenatchee. Mike Minotti has got an opinion about what I forgot because I loaded it into the system yesterday. And then one more time, we're going to play the interview I did with Allie Jordan, whose company, Elevated Marketing, is in charge of making sure everything goes smoothly tomorrow at Walla Walla Point Park for Wenatchee Valley's big 4th of July celebration. Allie will join me when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel. It's the NCW Life Community Calendar, a presentation of Sangster Motors. Celebrate America's 248th birthday at Walla Walla Point Park. Yep, it's the annual Wenatchee Valley 4th of July Independence Day celebration. The festivities and entertainment begins at 3:30 and culminates with fireworks over the Columbia River at 10:15. The Red, White, and Blues Beer Garden will be there, along with lots of food, activities for the kids, and the Stimilk Growers Cherry Spit Contest. Don't miss the Grant County Fair in Moses Lake, August 13th through the 17th. Leading the entertainment list is Diamond Rio, Thursday, August 15th, with special guest Katie Wade. Friday night is 90s favorite Chingy, with special guest DJ Precise. And Wednesday night, two of the best tribute bands in the country, Best of Both Worlds, a Van Halen tribute, and Crazy Train, an Ozzy tribute. VIP tickets are available at gcfairgrounds.com.
When you need to relax and recharge your body and mind, retreat to the comfort of stressless furniture at Boswell's. Designed to harmonize with the natural movements of your body, it's where true comfort begins and every day should end. Get a $100 instant rebate for every $1,000 spent and $200 off 4 dining chairs at Boswell's, 2915 Easy Street in Wenatchee.
It's vacation season. While a trip to Hawaii sounds great, we know what you really want is an inflation vacation. That's why Abby's feeds a group of 4 to 6 people for less than $26. Enjoy an inflation vacation at Abby's. You can be a superhero tonight and treat your family to Abby's famous hometown hero. This giant features our classic pepperoni, tasty Italian sausage, and crisp green peppers, all layered together for a legendary feast. Don't miss this July special pizza at a very special price.
Ooh, hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti. And everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, reading through some of my Facebook memories, I found a post about wearing a face mask that I thought was funny, as did some others. But there were also just as many people who were just terribly offended. Now, all right, these reactions made me stop and think about the times I've been offended by something. And I had to admit, often when I experience a strong negative reaction to something and get defensive, it's because there's some core of truth in what I'm being confronted by. So, what I've been trying to practice is this. When I take offense at something, maybe I should stop and think about why I'm reading it or discerning that way and consider whether or not my offense is misplaced or should be further examined. And if I decide my offense is justified, maybe I should just move on. I mean, why let somebody else control or negatively impact my peace of mind? This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
My name is Anna Marie. I've lived at Prestige here for 6.5 years, and I love it. They just made you feel so welcome. I love my room. I get 3 meals a day, do as I darn well want to. I've loved it ever since I moved in.
Mom's a wonderful, wonderful lady. She deserved the very best, and I got it for her here at Prestige.
Since 1932, Camp Seneca, nestled on the beautiful shores of Lake Wenatchee, has provided children grades 1 through 12 with the ideal location for kids to learn new skills, have fun, and make friends while creating memories that will last a lifetime. Camp Seneca's rustic log cabins and their staff serve to provide each group a unique summer camp experience. Register for Camp Seneca today, www.campfirencw.org.
Caught in a conflict? Family? Workplace? Neighbor? Business? Housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
this Thursday, the United States turns, I think, 246 years old, give or take a couple. I'm not good with math. I can't even balance my own checkbook. What I can tell you is Thursday is Independence Day, also occasionally known as the 4th of July. And the one place you want to be is Walla Walla Point Park again this year, because anytime it's a non-COVID year, we're having ourselves a party. Allie Jordan from Elevated Marketing has taken over the do's and don'ts and the logistics of this project, and it's big. You've had a busy month or so, Allie, trying to get everything going, all the T's crossed and the I's dotted for Thursday. Are you ready?
Yes, we're ready. We're ready for a fireworks show, some entertainment, some good food, and some good beverages in the Red, White, and Brews beer garden. So we're really excited. Like you said, been working hard with the team to put things together. The PUD, the pyrotechnic team, Wenatchee PD, the city of Wenatchee. Yeah, been working.
When you got this gig, got the contract, did you know the kind of work you were in for? Because this is a lot of work.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I knew what it would entail. It's not my first rodeo with events or large-scale events, so I knew what it would entail, and we did have to put it together in short order, but luckily we have a lot of people who have a lot of experience with this event specifically, and they've been doing it for a long time, so really been leaning into them for assistance.
Yeah, go with people who've done it before.
Yep, know what they're doing.
The one big change this year, if there's any significant change, it used to be fairly earlier in the day. It would be late morning, early afternoons when all the festivities would start with music and all kinds of stuff going on. You've bumped that back to about 3:30 in the afternoon for a good reason.
Yeah, so we're really focusing on the meat of the day, the entertainment, the food vendors, the youth activities. So we're starting at 3:30, and entertainment, we're going to start with the DJ so that we really have a nice wide variety of music going on to ease into the day. Then we're going to have a regional country artist at 5:30, and then we're going to have pre-funk headlining about 7:30, 8 o'clock, and then we'll have Kayla Taylor singing the national anthem into the fireworks. And then we'll have the youth activity area. Swire Coca-Cola will have a booth there with kind of a soccer shot station. We'll have some bubble activities for the kids, some cornhole for the kids, a variety of different activities. And then the food booths, we'll have Freddy's Kitchen, the Donner House.
Good sandwiches, good stuff.
Good stuff. We'll have a variety of sweets. We'll have Bubble Waffle House, who does concoctions. They wrap them up and put some ice cream. We'll have churros, so lots of variety there. Yeah, and then the Red, White, and Brews Beer Garden. We'll have the Tap Room by Hellbent and Pair Up Cider. And WDA, the Wenatchee Downtown Association, is our host this year for the Beer Garden.
In years past, a local radio station would play music, either live music there from the Wenatchee Valley Symphony Orchestra or something pre-taped that would basically coincide, not exactly, but at least patriotic music during fireworks. Is that happening this year, or are you on your own for that?
Yes, so we are going to have music being played during the event. For those who are on hand, we'll have music and a track that'll go along with the theme of the fireworks show. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Does the fireworks show have a theme?
Well, I think that they try to kind of just make it appear as though there's a theme with the music and with the show. So they try and make it coincide.
I've mentioned this on this program many times before. I'm going to mention it again. The best place to watch the fireworks is, without question, right there at Walla Walla Point Park, right down there by the spit. Because you not only you're as close as you can to the fireworks, but you can feel the concussion of the fireworks as they go off. You're gathered with a bunch of people, so everybody's reacting at the same time. But a lot of people will go wherever there's a nice view of the Columbia River and watch it, and they're not paying a dime. Well, nobody's paying a dime.
Yes.
You know, so it's time to ask people to donate. Damn it. Jim, if you could throw up that one slide that had the QR code on it real quick, plus the sponsor, I'd appreciate it. First of all, if you donate $50, you get. You're in for a drawing for Mariner tickets, right? There you go. Take a look there. Walk people through that slide right there.
Yeah. So the event is paid for through LTAC, which is lodging and tax dollars. So guests of the community, people who stay in hotels and so forth, that's what this event really is. We utilize those funds towards, and then sponsorships and donations from the community to put on things like the entertainment stage and having the youth activity. Those types of things are community funded, and this is one of the ways you can donate and get something back possibly. So there's 4 Mariner tickets, so it's valued up to $500, And the game is on the 20th, July 20th. So that's thanks to Swire Coca-Cola.
It was nice of them to do that.
Yeah, super nice.
Yeah, so you donate $50 or more, you can use the QR code, or you can go right to the website. You're in on the drawing.
Yeah.
And my guess is the drawing is fairly soon after the July 4th, so people can make plans. Hey, you won, so we can go to the game on the 20th.
Yep, it's going to be on the 5th. We'll draw on the 5th. Okay. So you have through early morning on the 5th to get those donations in to be entered for the drawing.
Talk about your other sponsors there. Without this doesn't happen.
Yes, without this, especially Salcedo Company, they have been long-standing presenting sponsors, so we can't thank them enough. They stepped up right away. They were the first person to reach out and say, hey, we want to make sure this community event can happen. The PUD, they are the park host and a sponsor this year, along with Washington Trust Bank, Larson Gross, Kashmir Valley Bank, and Appa Valley Honda. And then myself. Yeah, so threw that in there. We're really taking on the community aspect of the event. So the city's backing the fireworks and the security and safety for that to take place, and we've really taken on the role of ensuring that there is funding for the rest of it and kind of burdening that portion of it so the city doesn't have to do anything or worry about anything. They really wanted to focus on the meat of things from their perspective and just focus on the fireworks. So I've been assisting them with that, but then it's really been my responsibility to take on anything additional for community members to come down and enjoy.
And keep in mind, the fireworks show alone, put on by the lovely Miss Boggs and her crew, I'm sure they're back again.
They are.
That's like $36,000 for the fireworks?
Not quite, but
a lot.
for the security to take place, having Wenatchee PD ensuring that there are ample restrooms, that there's garbage, all of that, yes, it does get up there near the $50,000 range. And again, we're lucky enough to not have to burden taxpayers for that. So
two things. One is kind of minor. Don't bring your dog down there. Just don't. You know it's going to happen. The dog's going to freak out, and you're going to freak out, and the dog's going to take off, and then the dog will end up at the Humane Society. Use a little common sense there. And number two, more importantly, parking is always tight down at Walla Walla Point Park. And there's a way you can avoid that altogether. You park behind JCPenney at Valley North, and Link will have shuttles running continuously starting
at 7 p.m. So yes, we'll have the Town Toyota Center will also be open and available and free parking, and that's right there. And
that fills up real quick, though.
That does fill up quick, but we do want people to know that it is available. And then Link is awesome, and they will be doing shuttles from JCPenney starting at 7 p.m. and they will be running to the park, and then immediately following the wrap up of the fireworks show, they'll have 7 buses sitting there waiting to load guests and take them back. And there's always ample parking. They said, we always have spots left. People don't utilize it as much as they could. So if you think there's not going to be room, there will be room to use that shuttle, and it will probably be your fastest bet.
There's a lot of parking behind JCPenney. There is.
Yes.
And Link gets priority. So you say, well, it doesn't matter. You're going to sit in a bus in traffic anyway. No. Once they get a bus full and they're ready to head back to the to Penny's after the fireworks, they get to go ahead of anybody else.
They do. They get precedence leaving the park. So that will be your fastest route if you're parking in the park or at the Town Toyota Center. Link will be your fastest way home.
Did we get everything? Every time I talk to you, I always feel like I'm forgetting something, and then you leave.
I think that we wrapped everything. We touched on everything, but the park, no dogs in the park, that is a biggie. Yeah. We don't want people getting down there and being upset or frustrated that they did bring their dog down because their dog happens to be okay with fireworks. It's just a no-go for that day.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Even if your dog likes fireworks, it might like another dog a little bit more than fireworks.
Yeah.
We'll let that go at that. Allie Jordan from Elevated Marketing, they have a website, and it is?
Wenatchee4thofjuly.net is where you can find all of the updated information.
It's super easy to find.
Yes.
And that's where the QR code is for you to donate.
Yes.
And take a little pressure off of Allie if you don't mind. There you go, folks. We will see you on the afternoon of Thursday, which, again, by the way, for those of you just tuning in, is not only the 4th of July, it's also Independence Day. I like how those two things work out.
Yeah, the same day every year.
They dovetail. Unbelievable.
I love it.
Allie, it's good to see you. Have fun.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Yes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
check out clubcrowcashmere.com for upcoming events and tickets.
Few things strike fear in the human heart, like the possibility of a rattlesnake bite. Dogs can encounter rattlesnakes on their walks or in their yards, and being curious, often get bitten on their face, neck, and legs. Luckily, a vaccination is available to help neutralize venom so dogs experience less pain and swelling. Even if your dog has received a vaccine, you still need to seek immediate help. Dr. Shauna Baez and the staff of Paws and Claws care about your pet's health. Call 888-PAWS to schedule your vaccination today.
Now there are even more reasons to meet at the Pybus Market. Outdoor dining and tastings, the fabulous Farmers Market, Saturday artisans on the concourse, and your favorites all week long. No matter the reason, it's always time to meet at the Pybus Market. Pybus Market, where community meets.
When you've been in business for 40 years, it's because you understand change and you put members first, always. Now Works is announcing a change in their membership model. Up to 6 people on one membership that you can mix and match. The more people, the bigger the discounts. Introducing the Works shared membership model. One membership, friends and family and flexibility. Works, the cleanest, friendliest, most helpful gyms you and your friends will ever join.
All right, quick little programming reminder before we get to that all-important and very warm weather forecast. Because of the holiday tomorrow, we won't be here. Yay, get to sleep in. No Wake Up Wenatchee Valley tomorrow. We will be here on Friday, but I'm not going to promise you a 5-star show on Friday. We'll see how late I stay up on Thursday night. So no local programming here on the NCW Life channel tomorrow. So this show will not be seen. The evening news will not be seen. The usual stuff applies. We got some special programming for our nation's birthday. And then on Friday, a very special edition of the NCW Life Evening News. Wants something that you don't want to miss. It took our good friend Jefferson and Tucker quite some time to put together a special broadcast, and I'll tease you about that on Friday. In the meantime, 2 things we want to show you from a visual standpoint. One of them is that the first heat wave of the season. Now, we do have an excessive heat warning. It's scheduled to begin noon on Saturday, and it's supposed to run all the way through until 10 o'clock Tuesday night. But we're going to be in the triple digits on Friday, but it's going to get really, really, really hot. When they made this slide yesterday, they didn't know what was going to happen, and now they're telling us that on Thursday, tomorrow, that big dome, that big ridge of high pressure is going to start moving inland. It's off the coast of the state right now. It's going to start moving inland beginning tomorrow. By the time Friday comes, it'll be centered right over the Puget Sound area. By Monday, it's going to be centered right over the Wenatchee Valley. And that means we have an excessive heat warning. It's going to be really, really hot. Some of the hottest temperatures we've seen in quite some time. So an excessive heat warning means use common sense. Stay hydrated. Don't go out in the direct sunlight. If you don't have AC, find AC. Don't forget, pets don't like it when they're really hot because pets have a jacket that they can't take off. All right, so an excessive heat warning is heading our way. They may extend that further because this could be a very long stretch of very hot weather. From the National Weather Service, 90 today. Lots of sunshine, very little wind. I think we can safely call that hot. A little bit of breeze tonight, 61 for the overnight low. For Independence Day, up to 95 we go. For Friday, 101. The record high on Friday is 103, set back in 1968. The record high on Saturday, 104, also set back in 1968. We're expected to get to 102 there. For Sunday, July 7th, forecast high of 104, record high 100, so I think we're going to break that. On Monday the 8th, forecast high 106, record high 103. Get ready for some really hot temperatures. Have a great holiday. We'll see you Friday. Bye-bye.